Good morning, folks. NTV Chief Meteorologist Eddie Shear here. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these Newfoundland and Labrador weather briefings, but I think our current weather situation does warrant it, considering that we are going to be impacted by the remnants of now Hurricane Arthur, currently a Category 2 storm. The question many of you are asking is, what kind of impacts are we going to see here across the island? Well, at this point, it looks like they should be fairly minor, but there are some flies in the ointment to work out, and I'll go through what I'm thinking with you slowly this morning so we can sort of follow what's going on, and I can give you a better idea as to what you can expect as we go into the weekend. But first, let's get a look at the forecast for today. Currently, sort of what's going on across the island in the world of weather. Well, beautiful start to the day once more. This is the Wonder Map, courtesy of wonderground.com. You can go to this yourself. It plots all sorts of temperatures and radar data and a lot of different meteorological things that I find very handy in maintaining situational awareness throughout the day, and especially when weather is going to be impacting us here across the island. Luckily, it has been fairly quiet for the past couple of weeks now. As far as temperatures go in and around the metro, generally looking at teens and 20s right now. So it is a very nice start to the day across the northern Avalon. Southern part of the Avalon, Burin Peninsula along the south coast, as you can see, temperatures are a bit cooler because of the southwesterly winds, and that's going to continue once more throughout the day today. Looking into central, already 21 degrees in Gander, 25 in Rogers Cove currently. Deer Lake, it's already 24, 25 degrees in Rocky Harbor and Stephenville, looking at 21. On the northern peninsula, temperatures into the 20s as well right now, and even up into Labrador, temperatures are comfortable, although a bit cool into Labrador West, currently 6 degrees in Fremont, Quebec, and it also looks like it's 6 degrees in Schefferville. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. As far as webcams go, let's start in and around St. John's. We can see that we had some clouds earlier this morning. If you were up, they came in last night. It has been quite breezy. The wind should hopefully slow down a bit this afternoon. But here's the NTV Skycam overlooking City Hall downtown. We can see some low cloud, but some breaks of blue sky beginning to show up. Looking out toward Bell Island, still looking cloudy up toward Conception Bay South. In that area, looking cloudy into Airport Heights. That's a view of Windsor Lake right now. As we look over Kitty Vitty, some sunshine beginning to make its presence known overlooking downtown. Some of the highway cams, Route 10 and Trepassey, looking foggy right now. It's been foggy there for the past few days. That really shouldn't change today because the wind is going to remain out of the southwest. Port Rexton looking pretty nice as well. In Clarenville, it's looking nice this morning. It looks like Daniels Harbor. I don't know if that's some fog or just some condensation there on the webcam. Springdale looking like a beautiful morning as well. Lots of sunshine. As we look into central Newfoundland, again in Gander looking pretty nice there. Some low cloud, but overall some sun is beginning to shine. And these webcams are all courtesy of a website called nlcams.com. That looks like a new cam. Beautiful start to the day in Badger. This is such a fantastic website. Just a few minutes ago it was cloudy overlooking Marble Mountain, but now we are seeing some sun. Beautiful morning in Corner Brook. NTV Skycam overlooking downtown Corner Brook, showing yes, we have some cloud, but the breaks of sun are beginning to shine on through. So what can we expect for the rest of today? Well, we'll start with the eastern part of the island. Temperatures will eventually climb into the upper 20s in St. John's once more today, so shaping up to be another beautiful afternoon. Get out there and enjoy it, although those winds should back off. Southwest 30 to 40. They were gusting up to 60 or 70 once more last night. Central western Newfoundland today, temperatures into the 20s, except along the southern facing coastlines, temperatures there into the teens. Same thing across the eastern part of the island as well, again because of the southerly and southwesterly winds. Getting a little tongue-tied. Into Labrador today, not a whole lot to talk about. Beautiful day. Temperatures into the teens and 20s just about everywhere, but that will change a bit as we go into tomorrow. All right, so the main thing people have been clamoring about, wanting to know about, is Hurricane Arthur. Arthur will impact the island, but it looks like the impacts are going to be very almost non-tropical. We're going to have a little bit of wind. We're going to have some rain in some areas. Some areas may have very little impacts whatsoever from Arthur. But by the time it gets up here, the storm is going to basically go from a hurricane transition over to what's called an extratropical cyclone, or just a regular old low, and will quickly lose its punch as it gets into the maritime provinces and passes over Nova Scotia. So here are the current numbers on Hurricane Arthur. We'll get you back to the maps here. Let's see if I can do that for you. And there we are. Category 2 storm, winds 155 kilometers per hour. Let's see if I can get a closer look here for you. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, here's what the storm looks like. Currently Category 2, winds 155, gusting to 194. Movement has really accelerated to the northeast, 37 kilometers per hour. And you can see the very well-defined circulation there passing over the outer banks of North Carolina. I mean, that is almost a classic-looking hurricane, and it's really neat, at least to me, when these hurricanes pass within distance of radar sites, because you can actually see the spiraling way better than you can actually on the satellite imagery. And you can see the cloud cover here as well, as Arthur does begin to accelerate to the northeast, now almost 40 kilometers per hour. Now, well out ahead of Arthur, we see this rain band extending through northern New England, New York State, getting up into Maine, and even now some of that rain beginning to work into parts of New Brunswick. And this is a front. And this cold front, or stationary front for that matter, is basically going to block Arthur from going any farther to the northwest. Arthur will basically parallel this line, actually even farther east, will basically track just like this right toward Nova Scotia over the next couple of days, over the next 36 hours or so. Make landfall there, looks like tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll pass over the Cabot Strait into Newfoundland. Again, as a normal old low, it looks like Saturday afternoon into Sunday. But what we're seeing here is a lot of tropical moisture being pulled up, interacting with the front, and that is going to cause a batch of heavy rain to develop in and around the west coast of Newfoundland and southeastern Labrador tomorrow into Sunday. So we'll break that down more in just a bit, but again, the brunt of this storm will be felt across the maritime provinces. By Saturday morning, the storm is going to be just south of western Nova Scotia, and throughout the day will pass across Nova Scotia. And here is what AccuWeather is thinking for sustained winds. It looks like along the coast, generally in the 65 to 95 kilometer an hour range, with some gusts to 95 to 120 kilometers per hour. Although some areas will see some wind speeds 95 to 120, gusting up to 140. It looks like here south of Halifax, even in Halifax, potentially winds that strong. So folks along the Nova Scotia coastline facing the Atlantic Ocean are going to have a little bit of trouble to deal with here. Along with that, there's also going to be some very heavy rainfall. But as it gets to Newfoundland, it does weaken very quickly. And here's what the Canadian Hurricane Center is thinking. So here, 3 a.m. Saturday morning, 140 kilometers per hour. The storm is just off of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. By 3 p.m. Saturday, the storm has made landfall into Nova Scotia, coming ashore across the western part of Nova Scotia at that. But as you can see here, the symbol changes, which means it goes from a hurricane right here to a post-tropical storm, which means it transitions over from a hurricane to a regular old low pressure center. There are some subtle differences in the structure of those lows, but I'm not really going to get into that with you. Not important for our purposes here. And then by 3 a.m. Sunday morning, it is into the Cabot Strait, and then by 3 p.m. Sunday, it's just over the Baie Verte Peninsula, and then by 3 a.m. Monday morning, the remnants of Hurricane Arthur, now Tropical Depression Arthur, are going to be into the Atlantic Ocean northeast of Newfoundland. And I know some of you had some questions about this. So basically you have tropicals, depressions, tropical storms, hurricanes, and then as they weaken, it basically goes backwards. So you go tropical storm, tropical depression, and you can have post-tropical depression. So by the time it gets past Newfoundland, we'll have probably post-tropical depression Arthur. But as you can see, the wind speeds really diminish across Newfoundland, gusts 85 kilometers per hour. Some guidance is showing gusts that high, but they would probably be along the south coast if we do see gusts that high. But overall, the Wreck House area will see some gusty winds from this, but it's going to be no windier than almost a normal Newfoundland day. Maybe a bit windier, but nothing to sort of write home about as the storm does cross the island. But what we are going to see the impacts from here is basically just rain, really. Okay, so now I'm showing you a computer model And I know it looks complicated, but basically the computer model is showing pressure in millibars and precipitation in the shaded colors here. So the darker the color is, the higher the rainfall amount in 6 hours. So in 6 hours, in the 6 hours previous to 9:30 a.m. Saturday morning, this model is showing a ton of rain, upwards of 50 millimeters into parts of New Brunswick and southern western Nova Scotia. And out ahead of it, we can see that rain band getting going. So as we step ahead 3 hours now, this is going to be at 2:30, or 6 hours, excuse me, Saturday afternoon. We can see a very heavy rain band setting up northeast of the low off the west coast of Newfoundland for the most part. Some of that rain working into southeastern Labrador, some of that rain as well getting onto the northern peninsula. This is my concern, because what this is showing here is in 6 hours, it's showing roughly 50 millimeters or more of rain just off the west coast. So if this band comes any farther to the east, areas like Corner Brook, Deer Lake, Stephenville could be dealing with a lot of rain Saturday afternoon. But again, as of right now, it looks like the bulk of that rain Saturday afternoon does remain just off the coast into southeastern Labrador as well. We'll see some of that rain. You know, this is 9:30 Saturday night, so in the 6 hours between 2:30 p.m. Saturday and 9:30 p.m. Sunday, that rain band has weakened considerably, but we still do have some of that heavy rain on the northern peninsula and working its way into southeastern Labrador. And stepping ahead 6 more hours, see, this could be a problem. This computer model is now showing over 50 millimeters of rain on the northern peninsula Saturday night, on top of what's already fallen. So the main concern I have with Arthur is not going to be so much in the way of wind, but rain for parts of the west coast, northern peninsula, southeastern Labrador, and even stepping ahead now into Sunday morning. This is 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning. We are still seeing the heavy rain in southeastern Labrador on the northern peninsula, and the storm now is making landfall just on the south coast east of Port aux Basques and looks like west of Burgeo. But not a whole lot of rain expected with it. Some gusty winds for sure, but nothing, again, I don't think that we're going to be very concerned with, although in the Wreck House area we could see some very gusty winds as the storm passes. And then it looks like possibly some heavy rain on the northwest side of the low, again Saturday, Sunday afternoon into parts of Labrador, and some lighter rain across Newfoundland on Sunday, as well as that main batch of heavy rain does push offshore. But you can see the northern peninsula is still seeing some of that heavy rain in some areas of the west coast as well, and possibly into southeastern Labrador. And finally, everything begins to pull away. So the impacts from this will be felt across western Newfoundland, southeast Labrador, central eastern areas. Looks like some showers on Sunday, but overall not a whole lot to really be concerned with away from the west coast. On the west coast, looks like some wind and some rain. And as we go out, a few more hours, this is Monday morning now, everything is really beginning to pull away. So how much precipitation potentially are we talking about? Well, this is showing what looks to be 3 inches or more of rain along the northern peninsula, which would be 75 to 100 millimeters. Some heavy rain as well on the south coast, looks like almost 25 millimeters, but that heavy batch just off the west coast, and it looks like just north of the Corner Brook Deer Lake area, that heavy band does get set up. But as you can see, as you go farther east, the impacts are really minimal, almost no rain expected in St. John's over the weekend. I think we get some showers, but Sunday may not be that bad of a day. Southeastern Labrador, we could also be talking about some heavy rain. So again, my concern across the island is going to be potential heavy rains for the west coast, northern peninsula, southeast Labrador. East of there, west of there, impacts are going to be quite minimal. So as more computer model data does come out today, we'll have a better indication of where that heavy rain band is going to set up. But once more, worst impacts from this felt across the maritime provinces, some wind, some rain across much of the island, heavy rain possibly along the west coast, northern peninsula, southeastern Labrador, and this would be Saturday into Sunday. So I'll have more updates for you on this throughout the day, and as always, I'll be on the NTV Evening News Hour starting at 5:30 on First Edition with Tony Marie today, and then between 6 and 7 on the NTV Evening News Hour. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.